So tonight we're going to look at Alovea and the Social Business Partner Program. And I've got special guests with me tonight, Ron Hart and Steve Burns with the company. And so we're going to look at this. And all right. So Sam is, has been a real innovator in this area of nutrition and health and scientific breakthroughs to help all of us become healthier. And as I've been thinking about his new company that he has formed called Alovea, I've also been thinking about the fact that many of the things that we're all going through are tied to a need to be healthy and to have immune systems that are working. And sometimes crisis events create opportunities that would not exist otherwise. And I think certainly one of those times that we're living in. And so tonight we want to drill down a little deeper on topics. I'm going to ask everybody to mute yourself if you've not already done so, so we don't have any background noise. So if I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody, and then those that are speaking, please unmute yourself. You know, our world has changed. The need of a proper functioning immune system has never been more apparent than it is right now. And we need products to support our immune system. And, you know, as I've gotten older, I've realized that I'm also susceptible to things that, as an older person, that I have to look for products and nutrition that can help my immune system. And that is true for all of us. And so tonight, we're going to hear a little bit about the health industry again. We're not going to drill down like we did in the webinar, but we are going to talk about the, for those of you who were not on our webinar, we want to give you a little bit of background on where we are in the nation in healthcare in America, and also this idea of a social business. What is a social business, and is it for you? And so I'm glad to have Steve Burns with us tonight. And Steve is a social business partner and product development within Alovea. And we were just talking this afternoon, and he has a wealth of knowledge on this. He was with Sam in his former company as well. And Steve, it's good to have you tonight. And why don't you share with our folks some things about where we are in our health industry, and also how Alovea is going to make a difference in that.
Well, thank you, Oz. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate that. And if you don't mind, let's move on to the next slide. So where are we as a country? Well, the US health statistics are really bad. And when you look at US healthcare from a global perspective, we're looking at higher spending and worse outcomes. And the fact is, 6 out of every 10 people suffer from one or more chronic diseases or conditions. And we spend about $3.2 trillion a year in the United States alone on healthcare. And it's projected that in the next few years is going to be as much as 4.2 trillion. It is not a sustainable amount, folks. We are really dealing with a lot of issues here. We consume more than 50% of the pharmaceuticals in the world, and we have less than 5% of the population. Does that make sense? If pharmaceuticals were the answer, we would be the healthiest nation in the world, but we're not. As a matter of fact, as you see on the screen here, the US now ranks 17th in 17 of the developed nations when it comes to health. And the question is, will seeing just how far we've fallen behind other countries across almost all metrics cause us to finally motivate change? And that's what the Atlantic posed to everybody that is subscribed to it. And when you look at the rankings there to the right of the screen, you see that the US ranks last in health of population and life expectancy of those top 17 countries. But the good news is, and I'm saying that tongue in cheek, we rank first in heart disease, stroke, cancer, diabetes, chronic pulmonary disorders, obesity, and disabilities. Again, we're doing something wrong here. So if you look at the slide now, it talks about the transformation, focus on attacking the root of poor health versus medicating the symptoms. And this is a book written by Dr. David Katz called Disease Proof. And he talks about dealing with these things. And he says in this book, incidence of all major diseases could be cut by 80% by just reducing the biggest risk factors to cellular health. And cellular health is a key there. And our core product, our core technology that we use to help with the immune system, to support us at the cellular level, is something that was discovered in the 1980s at a place in Dallas called Carrington Laboratories. Now, Carrington Laboratories was looking for the active molecule in the aloe vera plant, and they discovered a group of acetylated polymannins. Big fancy term, you don't need to necessarily understand that, but they called this discovery ace-mannan for short. And they realized that this ace-mannan molecule was what was causing all of the wonderful things that have been known for thousands of years about the aloe vera plant. Aloe is mentioned in the Bible at least 5 times. Aloe has been on the clay tablets from Nippur, from ancient Mesopotamia. It was found in the papyrus from Egypt. It's been mentioned throughout history for all these thousands of years, but they never knew what it was that made it so amazing. Well, it turns out it is in the inner leaf gel. It is this particular group of acetylated polymannins. And over $100 million has been spent on researching ace-mannan, and over 130 patents have been issued worldwide on stabilization processes and uses. So if you look at the screen now, you see in the discovery of ace-mannan, they discovered that there are these different chains of polysaccharides that were in the plant. And again, this is chemical stuff. It's not necessarily something you need to understand. It's just, I want you to understand we know what we're talking about when it comes to the science. And so ace-mannan is a highly dispersed beta-1,4 linked acetylated polymannan chain, and the average molecular weight is 1 to 2 million Daltons. That's what they thought when they discovered this discovery. But as they further researched, they discovered that it actually had a much broader spectrum of molecular weights. And a Dalton is in physics kind of like a teaspoon is in baking, and you have a lot of teaspoons and you end up with a cup, etc. Well, these Daltons are a molecular measurement. And when these scientists were looking, they said, what are the active molecular weights that make this ace-mannan stimulate the immune system? Now, by stimulate, I don't mean regulate it up or regulate it down. It stimulates macrophage activity. And the macrophage is what goes and destroys the bad cells in the body, the foreign invaders, the pathogens, the viruses. This is how our immune system deals with this. And so these scientists that were studying this in 2005, and it was a team of scientists in Korea, and they wrote a paper on it, and they found that there was a molecular range between 5,000 and 400,000 Daltons. Again, not necessary for you to know that, but understand that our manufacturer has a proprietary way of extracting the most amount of those immune activating fractions, and it has been licensed exclusively to Mana Relief and the Hope Movement. And I'm going to get into who is Mana Relief on this very next slide. Mana Relief is the nonprofit that was founded by our CEO, Sam Castor, and his wife, Linda Castor, back in the late 90s. And over 20 years, it has generated over 130 million servings for children in need. Now, it started when Sam and Linda went to Romania, and they visited with an orphanage there. And the caretaker of that orphanage said, you know, we really appreciate the money that you all have been giving, but we really wish we had something that can help these children. Our children are dying. Every year we lose a certain amount of children, and it's because they're getting very sick. And Sam said, well, wait a minute. I have what I believe to be one of the greatest discoveries that man has ever made from nature. And it's this ACE mannan molecule. So Manna Relief started giving to this orphanage an ACE mannan product. And for the first time in all of this organization's history, not one child died after a year. And the caretaker said that they had never seen anything like that. They were weeping openly. And so Manna Relief expanded. And from there, they started shipping to Africa. They started shipping to North Korea, where you see these kids are emaciated. And a lot of times we get mixed up. We think that malnutrition is just emaciated kids, where their stomach is distended, their rib cages are showing. But the truth is, we have malnourished kids here in the United States. In the United States, it may be a child that's obese, a child that eats pizza every day for lunch and doesn't get proper nutrition. Children are suffering with immune deficiency all over the world. And one thing we've learned from this pandemic is many people are suffering from malnutrition or immune deficiency. So as I said, by 2019, over 130 million servings had been provided to children in over 90 countries. And what we give these children is a product called Hope Boost. And it's a powder that they add to the food in the orphanages. And every time somebody purchases one of our products, you heard Sam in the video talk about social business, we do a matching donation of our same breakthrough technologies in nutrition to save the lives of children around the world. Next slide, please. So Manna Relief got together with a nonprofit out of Korea who had been using Manna Relief's technology, our ACE mannan technology, and they started a public benefit corporation called Alovea. And Alovea is, again, what we call a social business 3.0 business. So Alovea has a specific mission statement and vision statement. And our vision is to empower people to enhance their own health, finances, lifestyle, and purpose while making a real difference in the world. And our mission is to eradicate childhood malnutrition. Now, that's a lofty goal, and about 6 million children a year die from malnutrition. So if we could get 6 million people purchasing one of our products every month, or maybe 3 million people purchasing 2, or even 1 million people purchasing 6. Maybe people are doing it for their family, or maybe somebody needs a higher level of support. We are able to make an impact in that number of children who are suffering from malnutrition and dying from it all around the world. So we do that through something we call social business. Well, what are the benefits of having a social business? Well, the cool thing about social business and the way we do it is old businesses getting to start a typical brick and mortar business, and even many online businesses. You're paying for secure certificates, you're paying for shopping carts, you're paying for all these things. A lot of times you have to go and get a loan. Maybe somebody is interested in getting a franchise. Even these franchises that are businesses in a box, where somebody might come in and say, I'm going to get XYZ franchise. And first of all, you have to make sure that you get permission to open said franchise in your area. A lot of times those franchise rights are owned by certain individuals or small corporations. And whether it be a fast food or a convenience store or something else, it's often hard to get those started. And when you do start them, they're not free. A lot of times you're still controlled by that company that is releasing that franchise. And you may be on the low end of $50-some thousand for a startup, or you might be on the hook for $500,000, depending on one of the bigger chains of fast foods. So you've got to worry about that. And then once you get that going, then you've got the overhead, you've got the employees, you've got the taxes that come with those employees, you've got the business, the building, the equipment, all of these things. That overhead gets to be pretty big really fast. And then you've got your inventory. whether it's perishable food items or whether it's hard goods that are you're going to sell in some type of store or environment, you've still got the inventory expense, and it usually takes a long time. Typical businesses that start up in a non-pandemic time take anywhere from 4 to 6 years before they actually realize a profit. So we have an answer to this that we believe is pretty great. And with our social business partner program, we have a very low startup cost, and you benefit your own personal health while participating. Instead of having the stress and worrying about which employees didn't show up, or what is your manager doing when you're not at the facility, or things like that, and actually causing health issues, you're actually able to benefit your health doing what you're doing. We have the opportunity for a quick return. You put up a low amount of money to get started with this, and people have seen their return within a week. Some people, it takes a little longer. Every individual is different. But there is tremendous upside for financial potential in this business. And I want to elaborate on something else here. You can have the tax benefits that are involved with a home-based business that W-2 employees can't get. People that participate in a social business, that go out, they travel, they share with other people, they explain our technologies. If they keep track of explaining that, they do it right, and they spend a certain amount of their time doing that when they're traveling, that trip could be written off. There are all kinds of things that you could do from a tax standpoint to save with a home-based business. The average person, whether they actually can turn a profit or not, they're still, if they're doing a W-2 job, they are still saving an average of $4,000+ per year. So that's the benefit of having a home-based business. But why Alovea? Why are we different than other companies? Well, our main thing is our nutritional technologies. We have advanced health solutions for people who are looking for these types of answers. And here are some of our key products shown on the screen, but I want to focus on our flagship product right now. We have a product that we just released not too long ago, and it combines a few of these best-selling technologies, and we're seeing phenomenal results with it. People are purchasing it. As a matter of fact, we're having trouble keeping it in stock, and I'm very excited about that. And that is our product that we call Cell-A-Brate. And it's a little play on words there, because the cell is C-E-L-L. And there is a reason that we need this product. As Oz talked about at the beginning, we have some major issues going on. Next slide, please. The major risk factors of cellular health are pathogens. These are foreign invaders like viruses and bacteria. We have toxins from medications. Again, 50% of the pharmaceuticals in the whole world are consumed by us, being less than 5% of the world's population here in the US. Smoking, despite all of the warning labels, despite all of the research, people still continue to smoke. And then a lot of young people have started to do what they call vaping, where they actually nebulize these chemicals and put it in, and it breathes out like smoke, but it's a vapor, and it's a cool thing as far as the kids are concerned. But those are full of chemicals as well. And then there are chemicals in the foods we eat and the things we drink. Our water tables aren't exactly pure anymore because pollutants, toxins, and they're not able to be filtered out fully. We are putting some form of chemicals into our body. It's in the air we breathe, it's in the water we drink. And to make food taste better, in order to build a better tomato, a lot of science has put in different techniques to make things last longer and things like that. These chemicals, we really don't know all of the long-term consequences to those. So we're putting these things into our body every day. And when we're not putting those in, we have a poor diet. We eat a lot of fast food, processed foods, and things that are actually harmful to our body. Back up one, please, Oz. And when you look at the last factor, stress, we stress ourselves out. We're all under a lot of stress during this pandemic. We're all being prayerful about it, but it still causes a stress. Sometimes we see a tweet we don't like, a post we don't like, maybe an election result we don't like, local or national. There are all kinds of things that cause stress in our body. And when we start producing excess cortisol, that is the fight or flight hormone that is supposed to be there to protect us, we actually can cause our hormones to be toxic to our bodies. And that actually causes fat buildup. And as all of these factors come into play, they start to cause oxidative stress. You see in the red circle there, in the outer circle, oxidative stress, and that leads to chronic inflammation. Inflammation is a necessary biological process that we need to have, but what we want is acute inflammation. We bang our knee, we bang our thumb, and it swells up and it's inflamed for a while. It's our body's way of telling us, don't use that for a little while we repair the damage. Well, the problem is we've gone beyond that, and now we're dealing with chronic inflammation. And when you have all of these problems, you see in the bullseye there, it causes immune dysfunction. That's a term a lot of people did not hear prior to 2020, but anybody that has watched any of these news conferences by any of the COVID or pandemic health teams, be it local or national, they are constantly using the term immune dysfunction. So how does Cell-A-Brate deal with that? Well, we created this product called Cell-A-Brate, and Cell-A-Brate, again, is two of our top technologies, along with two other new technologies, and they come from around the world. Our Aloe Ae, that's what we call our Ace Mannan, Ae standing for Ace Mannan extract, that comes from Mexico. The aloe is grown on volcanic soil. We only use organic, non-GMO aloe vera, and we only use purified water and multi-stage filtration to extract the Ace Mannan from our product. We've got our Prolane from the United States. That's inflammatory defense. It comes from beetroot. And then we've got Manuka honey from New Zealand, which is our powdered antimicrobial base, and Original from New Zealand, which is an antioxidant. So I want to get a little further into each of these technologies. We'll start with, of course, our Alovea Ae. As I said at the beginning, over $100 million has been spent in the research of this powerful molecule, and it enhances the immune cell response to viruses, bacteria, and aberrant cells. And when your macrophage is activated, it's like calling for backup. It's calling in the cavalry. So to get in there and actually take out these foreign invaders. But you see these different immune stimulators out there, things like elderberry and other types of products that actually cause the immune system to upregulate. Well, that's not necessarily a good thing, because one of the issues with this current virus and this current pandemic is you hear about these people having breathing difficulties because they have these cytokine cyclones in their lungs, builds up fluid. That is the immune system ramping up, but not ramping down. So we don't want an immunostimulator. We also don't want an immunosuppressor, something that causes the immune system to be underactive, because when that happens, it allows bacteria and invaders to go undetected. We want something that modulates, and that's what this does. It's like a thermostat in a house. If it's too cold, it turns the heat on. If it's too hot, it turns the air conditioning on. Or another analogy I like to use, it's like the cruise control for your car. Imagine you're going up a hill and the cruise control starts sending more fuel to the engine. You get up over that hill and imagine it doesn't back down. You go careening down that hill, and next thing you know, you're out of control. Well, Ace Mannan is an immunomodulator. So it upregulates when needed and downregulates when needed. That is why it is so beneficial to the immune system. And besides that, we all hear about stem cells, and there's been a lot of talk about that. And sometimes these different organizations that believe it's okay to use fetal stem cells and things like that, which it's not, they say, well, we're doing this in the name of research. But the key is for you to be able to increase your own stem cell production. And we make stem cells all throughout our life. But if we had a way to increase adult stem cell production, stem cells can become any type of cell in the body. Well, it turns out there was research done on Ace Mannan years ago that showed that it does increase stem cell production by 300 to 400%. And it has a tenfold impact on immune activation. Plus, it even enhances our body's own antioxidant called glutathione. You know, dogs, cats, animals, they make their own vitamin C. We don't. Our only antioxidant that our body makes in any kind of quantity is glutathione. And this product actually helps with protecting our cells by our producing our own glutathione. Next slide, please, Oz. So the next ingredient is our proline from the beetroot. And beets are very popular in the health food stores these days. You see commercials for beet products, but there is a problem with beets. Beets are naturally anti-inflammatory and they have anti-inflammatory properties, but they contain a lot of sugar. They're about 60 to 70% sugar in composition. As a matter of fact, most of the sugar produced in the United States that you buy in the store comes from sugar beets. It doesn't even come from sugar cane. When I was a kid, they grew sugar cane and that's how they produce sugar. Now it comes from these sugar beets. Well, sugar beets are white. We use the red beet, but all beets are beta vulgaris and all beets are 60 to 70% sugar by volume. And sugar is a highly inflammatory substance. So you don't want that. Well, our manufacturer actually has a patent on breaking the sugar bond and extracting the flavonoids, everything good about the beetroot. And that patented process, again, removes the sugar. It supports healthy gut bacterial growth. You know, you've heard the phrase, all health begins in the gut. Well, this actually helps with the gut healing and good gut bacteria growth. It's great for digestion and brain health. It's a potent antioxidant in itself. Several of our products have different types of antioxidants. This class of antioxidant is something called a betalain, and it has been shown to reduce the inflammatory biomarkers of at least 2 different biomarkers by 47%. It is highly bioavailable. We absorb it, we utilize it very quickly, and it inhibits inflammatory gene expression. We have this substance in our blood called NF-κB. Again, kind of sciencey. I know you don't need to know that, but nuclear factor kappa B, and it gets into the nuclei of the cells and flips on our short-term inflammation genes. Well, again, as I said, that's a necessary biological process. But the problem is we're making too much of it. And when we do that, it keeps turning on gene after gene after gene for inflammation. Well, this product actually inhibits that from happening. It allows for healthy acute inflammation while helping to curtail chronic inflammation. Next slide, please. Then there's Original, and Original is a different type of antioxidant. It's a proanthocyanidin. Say that 10 times fast. No, thank you. And it is known as one of nature's most powerful antioxidants. It is 20 times more powerful than vitamin C, 50 times more powerful than vitamin E. And because our product is water soluble, it helps cross the blood-brain barrier to get in and protect the cells in the brain. Our brain cells are a little bit different than our regular cells. They're made up of a lipid cell called an oligodendrocyte. And when you look at people that when they talk about the brain, they say the brain is mostly made of fat. That's an oversimplification, because if the brain was actually made of fat, every time we went on a diet, we may forget how to tie our shoe or what Aunt Judy's name really is. You know, that's not how it works. They are these lipid cells and they need their own type of protection. And the blood-brain barrier was put there by our creator to help protect the brain. Well, by this getting across as a natural product, it is helping defend brain health. And brain health is a big concern to many people, not just the aging population, but even younger people who are studying, learning, taking tests. They want to improve their brain health. So there is also a lot of research for the support of cardiovascular health and eye health and health against premature aging with these antioxidants. And when you have the right antioxidant, you can do amazing things for your body. And again, because our product is processed in a proprietary, not just proprietary, a patented method, we have these products as water-soluble proanthocyanidins. So that is what makes Original so great. And then we put it all in a base of Manuka honey. They found honey in clay pots in the pyramids of Egypt, and they tested it, and it was still good. It was still edible because honey itself is an antibacterial, and it's been used for thousands of years as that. And think about the Bible talking about the land of milk and honey. I mean, honey has been around for a long time and used for a long time. Well, they found out that this Manuka honey has a tenfold impact on bacteria inhibition and dealing with being antimicrobial over traditional regular honey that you'd buy in the store. And so we found a way to, our manufacturer found a way to powder this honey and put it into a base so we could use this as a chewable and deliver it in this great tablet form. And this product actually helps nourish good gut bacteria. It is very low glycemic as far as honeys go, but it does not feed the bad bacteria. Bad bacteria feed on sugar, and our brain doesn't know the difference between signals from good or bad bacteria. If bad bacteria send a signal to the brain saying, hey, we need to eat more sugar because they're hungry, then the brain tells your body and tells you, hey, you got to eat something because we need to feed the other microorganisms in the body. It can't differentiate good or bad. But the interesting thing about Manuka honey is it only feeds the good bacteria and not the bad. Now, we've got a problem in this country with superbugs and superviruses that are immune in themselves to the different antibiotics that are in the marketplace. Antibiotic resistance is becoming a huge, huge problem worldwide. Well, for whatever reason, the bacteria have not ever been able to find a way to adapt to Manuka honey. Manuka honey can take that out without any kind of resistance. It can also help prevent gingivitis and tooth decay, and it can provide relief from sore throats, blocked noses, and coughs. A lot of people tell me I wear a mask for 20 minutes in the store. I come out, my throat's kind of raspy, and my sinuses are a little wonky. Well, and wonky being a scientific term, again, you don't need to know that. I'm kidding. So you could suck on one of these Cell-A-Brate and help clear some of that up. So that is a really great benefit as well. So besides that, I want to highlight one other product, and that is our immune product. Cell-A-Brate is great for somebody who is fairly healthy. They can take more if they want to. It's a food-based product. It's not going to hurt you. There are no drug contraindications that we know of to this product, but some people need that extra support, that extra ACE mannin support. And so we have a concentrated support product that we call Immune. And Alovea Immune has 200 milligrams of our Alovea ACE mannin extract in every capsule. And I recommend if somebody is fairly healthy, they might have a few things they're concerned about. They take a couple of these a day along with the Cell-A-Brate. And again, we have targeted nutrition products that you can add depending on what you need. And people like Ron and Oz can help you determine those types of things. But this product actually will do more for you to help the body deal with whatever it is dealing with. It makes everything work better. It improves cellular communication because our cells talk to each other. If you look at a cell under a microscope, in illustrations, they always show these round, smooth discs going through the arteries and veins. But the reality is, under 1,600 times microscope, it looks more like a piece of candy, like a peppermint that a small child has dropped out of their mouth onto the shag carpet, and it's rolled around for a couple of weeks, and you pick it up, and it's got all this fuzz all over it. That's really what our cells look like. And the fuzz are chains of these glycoproteins that are made up of these materials that come from ACE mannin. And they allow our cells to communicate with each other and tell each other, are you me? Are you a foreign invader? Do you need help? Do you need nourishment? Do you need repair? Do you need to be destroyed? That's important too. We are constantly turning over the trillions of cells we have in our body. And so that is why we have ACE mannin as well. So next slide, if you look at the replicated sites that we offer our social business partners, you can see here Oz is showing his direct link to his site. And that is what it looks like. That's what the replicated site looks like. That's one of the cover pages. And as you see there, we've got the Cell-A-Brate and the Immune, because those are the products that Oz had asked me to cover, because they are, again, our two most popular products right now. And again, why Alovea? I gave you a lot of lists and a lot of explanation as to why our products are so great. But if you look at this next slide, you will see that we are being sought after by all kinds of different organizations. The Brain and Body Foundation down in Africa is studying our product in conjunction with standard of care down there for children suffering from all kinds of conditions. Well, another very prominent organization, Dream for the Cure, Dr. Renee Hurty, who has the first approved immunotherapy drug by the FDA in use. And you might remember back a few weeks ago, the president contracted coronavirus and they gave him monoclonal antibodies. Well, antibodies are part of immunotherapy. They actually flag the bad cells, and then it allows them to send in I guess the best analogy I can give is, imagine you've got a forest and some of those trees in that forest are diseased. Well, by having this antibody therapy, it actually goes in and ties ribbons on those trees, and then the lumberjacks are sent in to cut down those trees. And why is that important? Because right now, the cancer treatments up till this time have been cutting, burning, and poisoning. And it would be like burning the whole forest down and hoping a few of the good trees survive. That's what chemotherapy and radiation do. Well, Dr. Hurty's method is to analyze what type of cancer it is, look at the DNA of that cancer, create antibodies so that those cancer cells are tagged, and then the immune system needs to go in and recognize that. Well, using my analogy, what if you call in those lumberjacks and they're not there? They can't answer. They can't hear the walkie-talkie. Well, that's the problem when we're having cellular communication issues. So Dr. Hurty has added our Ace Mannin, Aloe Ae, in her research to help the immune system of these people that she is studying to better react to the antibody treatment, because she looked at our science. She said it is solid, it is sound, and that is what she is researching right now in conjunction with the Mayo Clinic with her cancer patients. We are getting some real attention here. And that is why, again, being a social business partner with Alovea, you can be very proud of what we have to offer and stand very sound on our science.
Well, Steve,
Go ahead.
this social business, and by the way, that was really wonderful. I learned so much from what you just said. But I think this social business model is really right for where we are as a nation. And so, this is a kingdom business. Sam is a committed believer. And so we're really delighted to be able to partner with you and Sam on this initiative. And I know there's going to be people that want to know more about this. And why don't you give us a little bit more specifics in the area of what they get if they're a social business partner?
Sure. As a social business partner, you don't have to stock any inventory. The company does that for you. You'll get a replicated website that you can send people to purchase products. You could refer people. I recommend everybody at least try the product and see how the products work for them. Make mental notes as to what's happening in your life so that you have a story to share, because just about everybody I know over the age of 35 has some kind of issue that they're dealing with, some kind of challenge. So by becoming a social business partner, you are eligible for up to 15% discount on all your personal product purchases. You can earn free product through our 1-2 free program. That is somebody who refers 3 customers. And we'll do another call sometime in the near future explaining the ways that this business can pay you. But you're eligible for social business partner promotions and incentives. there are a lot of different companies out there, Amazon and other companies that find different ways to reward their people. We also reward our people with trips that are mission trips. We go down to Mexico when it's appropriate, and we interact with these orphans and these children who we are actually impacting through our nutrition model. We get to talk to the doctors down there. We get to play with these kids and spend time. We have incentives with this company that no other company has that I've ever heard of. And again, it's based around this social business. Now, we have one of the most generous compensation plans on top of that. It's not just the trips and those things that you can earn. You can actually earn money by sharing with other people. Coca-Cola chooses to sell a bottle of soda that costs them maybe 8 to 10 cents for a 2-liter bottle in the grocery store, but there's a lot of markup with all of the middlemen involved in that and all of the advertising, the billions of dollars in advertising they spend. Well, our advertising is word of mouth. This social business depends on people building teams and teams of teams to move forward. And by doing that, you actually can earn commission by sharing with other people. So you can earn free product, you can earn trips and other goodies, and you can also earn commissions. You get access to our app, our marketing and digital materials so that you can share. We give you the tools to succeed in this business. We also have trainings that, as I said, we can do a compensation training down the road. It gets a little more into it, but we have a complete library of support materials, videos, and things like that. I do a lot of different presentations. Sam does presentations. Some of the other top leaders in the company do presentations that we regularly broadcast to help you in your business. And you have the freedom to make sales wherever you are, to anywhere, wherever they are. We are now opening and expanding internationally. We're open in Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Japan, United Kingdom, Germany, and we are adding more, and Israel. We're opening more countries all the time. Canada and the US, we had opened first, and we've expanded since then. And we will continue to do so because our mission is a world mission, and Sam's vision is a world vision for this company. And again, by not having any inventory, by not having all this overhead, you're able to get started in a home-based business and save on your taxes right off the bat. So here is, again, a copy of the retail website. And here is the fastest way to kickstart your business and recoup what you put in to this company. I tell people to place an order for a product kit. That's always your best bet. We put our best products into kits so that people can get a better value, and we give them the experience of taking the products, what happens when they take the products, the benefits there. And they give you the best savings on the products to introduce you to the product line. And if you purchase our premium impact kit, which is $700, a fraction of what any of these franchises I talked about earlier, you reach team builder status, which qualifies you for future exclusive bonuses only available to people that reach that team builder status of up to $1,750. Whether it takes a year, 2 years, or maybe you could accomplish it in a week, those bonuses will be available to you as long as you reach that team builder status. Now, do you have to purchase a $700 kit? No, that is the best value. However, you can also do it through sales to other individuals, and you need to do that in your first 28 days. But $700 is very doable, especially with our product line and the demand we have for our products. Now, you find 2 other social business partners, help them achieve team builder status, and that is your second step. That's the second thing you want to do. You're building teams of teams. You set up a 28-day flex ship order for a minimum of $100, and that ensures that you qualify to receive commissions as a social business partner. And again, if you get 3 customers, your product can be free depending on what they order and how much they order. And again, that's something that we will explain again sometime in the future. Now, you don't have to have that $100 purchase if you have customers that are purchasing more than $100 that you've personally brought to the program. So that's something else I want to point out to everybody, because that's important as you're getting started. Now you see here in the different selections that are available, this is our most popular. It is the Premium Impact Kit. And it's a 28-day supply for 2 people of all of our best products, except for our food bars. And there is a 14-day supply for 2 people on our food bars. But we have different things. We call it rebooting, different ways to biohack your body and give you the optimum results for strengthening your immune system, fixing your metabolism, and making your body function at its best. And I've got a friend on this call with us, Oz, that I'd like to hear from, as well as I know you would too. And he is a great leader, and he's going to tell us a little more on getting started. And that's our friend Ron Hart, right?
That's right. And Ron has been with our ministry for many years. He's been the area director for marketplace leaders in California. And Ron actually got into this business before I did. And so I've known Sam for over 10 years, and I've been kind of watching and waiting for Sam on this next venture. And so Ron got into it, and we both believe strongly. My wife and I have become social business partners. And so Ron has agreed to help us and be kind of my Jonathan in helping those of you who have an interest in this to get started, support you. And I know how important it is when you have questions, and I've thrown a lot of questions at Ron over the last few weeks. So Ron's going to share with us a little bit about what to do and how to become a social business partner.
Thank you, Oz. This has just been exciting for me. A little bit of background is also on this is the Koymans, who are like me, but they're doing this for Chuck Pierce. And we're doing this for Kingdom Projects. As much as I love Oz, he is such a leader in the marketplace. I want him to be able to create some income streams so he doesn't have to worry about raising donations for TGIF, his main ministry that he's doing. So that's my mission, and that's why I'm involved and just really excited to be a part of it. And the Koymans are on, if they can turn on, if you have any questions that I can't answer, you can jump in and help us. So if you're interested in being a social business partner, you would go to Oz's replicated site, and it says join, and you would click on social business partner or affiliate. So let me just kind of jump into what's the difference between an affiliate and a social business partner, because you can come in to Alovea 3 different ways, and it just depends on where you see the vision. I think everyone should start over as a customer, where they can come in and get the products and try them. Then you can upgrade to an affiliate, and I call this kind of the minor leagues, where you're kind of learning your way around. Because if you heard Steve talk about it, there's a 28-day window where you really want to maximize and get to a certain volume so you can get those future bonuses. The affiliate program, there's no requirement to buy anything on a monthly basis to make anything. You get a bonus when people buy things, and if they come back the next month and they buy it again, you'll get a bonus. Another person that might be an affiliate is somebody that's in an integrative health clinic or a chiropractor that wants to just buy the products at a big discount and stock them right there in their clinic. But for me, the social business partner is the best way to go, because it gives you all of those benefits, plus you can build a team. And I'm really into unity. I just really see God working right now in unity. So when you have unity happening and helping other people, you're going to be compensated by helping them. And I work on the concept of 3s, like we have health, we have helping a social problem, helping kids around the world, and making a provision both for yourself and the ministries that you're involved in. So those are the three things that I really, just resonate with. I've been in this industry for 30 years. And when I saw at Chuck Pierce's, saw Sam Castor do his presentation, he's halfway through it. And I said, I'm in on this. To me, all the dots lined up. This industry in the past has some strongholds in it. And it was greed and deception. And this is just the opposite. It's giving back. For everything you do gives back. And it's providing provision for you to do ministry problems. So that's just kind of a background of how you get started. And we have some other trainings available to you, recordings that we can send out later that will really go into this compensation plan. It has many different levels. And it takes a little while to understand, but the more you get into it, it's just fantastic. And I don't know if the Coymans are on there. Is either Brian or Lori, are you here? Can you come on? Hopefully. There's Brian.
Yes, I am, Ron.
And Brian was, he's doing with Chuck with what I want to do with Oz. We just want to provide answers and a vehicle for us to support the two guys that we love and the ministries that they are doing. Any input you have there, Brian?
No, I thought hearing from someone like Steve Burns, I've heard Steve teach dozens of times, and as Oz shared already tonight, he learned so much from what Steve shared. I've listened to Steve dozens of times, and every time I'm like, I didn't know that, or how does he know that, or that's just amazing. And so I just encourage you, any of you that are interested, the more that you get integrated, the more you listen to, really the more excited you're going to become. It's not like you plateau or get bored or think there's nothing more to learn. There's always something more to learn. But just by being around people like Steve and others that carry that vision, Sam Castor, just your excitement level grows. You're around incredible people. It's just like when I minister with Chuck Pierce, or I serve Chuck Pierce, and Ron, you help with Oz. When you're around people of great character and a great vision, it just brings you to that next level for things that you want to do, things that you want to be a part of. So what you heard tonight was just an amazing presentation, very clear presentation for how you can get involved in something personally with the social business, but also with the global impact.
Amen. Thank you, Brian. Okay, Oz, anybody that has questions, I think you put my email and phone number on there. You can text me or send me any questions. If I don't know it, I'll ask Brian or Sam or Steve. We have access to everyone to get any questions answered.
Yeah, if anybody has a question, you can unmute yourself and just pose it right now. There's here's one person saying, how do I start off part-time? Is there a commitment? No, you have to do certain things to get to certain places, but you can start out by just ordering the product and just being an affiliate or just user of the product first, because the products are great. And then you might find that you want to spend more time in helping others and introduce it to others, and then you can earn some money that way. Andre says, is this business model similar to Herbalife? Is it a multi-level company with a social aspect? There's truth to part of that, but because it has a social entrepreneurship model to it, you are compensated by working with groups of people. That's the network marketing part of that. But because the focus is on giving, and nutrition is such a huge part of this, that you're helping so many people, we try to stay away from the kind of negative aspects of network marketing and take the benefits. I mean, the gospel was really network marketing. I tell people all the time that Jesus had a network marketing ministry. He had 12 guys that went out and shared the gospel, right? And led people to Christ. And so, this is such an incredible breakthrough in health that it's one way that you can create income for yourself. And like I say, you don't have to go to be a social business partner, you can just be an affiliate, just like an affiliate you could be with Amazon. It just depends on what level you want to invest in something. And I just feel like that we all need more than one income stream in our lives with all the uncertainty in the world. And this is a great one just because of the health benefits to us personally and how you're going to help other people and you're going to help kids, so it's a great model.
Right. And I'll just add to you can run the whole business off your cell phone. They have videos and everything you can text to people. They have two modalities that I think are awesome. Is one, they have a new product, free sample, where Cell-A-Brate, a person can basically pay shipping and handling, or if you wanted to as a social business partner, you could actually pay for it yourself. It's $5, no big deal. It gets this in their hands. The other one is their Hope Pop, which is like a lollipop that has Ace Man in it, and everybody loves those. So they have these different ways that people don't like pills. So they have two different ways of taking Ace Man in a flavorful, fun way, and that's a way easy to share with other people.
I've got the pops right on my desk here. I had one today driving around. But, someone is asking, how do I start off part-time? Is there a commitment? I read about getting your own website. Is there online advertising, info, customers access? The business is generated by you personally, reaching out to others, just sharing it in the just natural day-to-day life. You don't have to stress out and, Brian, I think that, in the body of Christ, God is our provider. And if he's called you to this, he'll make a way for you. But you can get started for literally, as little as, $30, with some of these products. So just start a little bit and, get familiar with it. We've got weekly training that you can access, and the back office on this thing is incredible. There are so many articles, there's so many product sheets that you can print off and share with people, and it gives people the information they need. Here's Andre. Let's see. How to get started. Well, Leon, Andre, if you'll go to the website, myimmunecare.myalovea.com, that's on the screen right now. That's the place you want to get started. That's where you go and you go to the button that says join now, and you can choose what you want to do. And that's the way you get started. If you want to be part of Pamela's community, you might want to do that. Maybe you know about her prison ministry and you'd like to be a part of the support for her. She also has a separate community, lifechangerslegacy.myalovea.com. And it doesn't matter to us. We want to support anybody who wants to get into this.
Yeah, and Andre says, please send me information. We don't have to. Either one of those websites, you click on it and all the information is right there.
Yeah, it's loaded with information. When you go to the website, just click on that link that says join now. And when you click on the business link, it gives you all the detail, great videos there that'll help you. So, and the good news, it's available in New Zealand. So there you go, Andre. You got a new business.
Oz?
Yes.
I'll add something to MZ's question. There's many of you may be very outgoing, very sanguine, very comfortable sharing presentations or things like that. That's not my forte, but one of the best things about this business, as Steve shared and Oz and Ron have commented on, you have an entire back office that's in your phone, or all the apps on your app that you have here. And so when I'm asked questions, over 90% of the time, the way I give an answer is I'm going to send a resource from my app. I am not an expert. I don't have to be an expert, but Steve Burns that shared with us tonight, Sam Castor, the CEO and president, they have done a fantastic job of creating resources that can provide the answers, the additional information that you'd want to share with other people. So someone says, tell me about this Cell-A-Brate. I can share a little bit about that, but I can also get on my phone. I can send through the app. I can send them a video that talks about Cell-A-Brate. Or if they want to know more about immune, I can send resources on that, either PDFs, videos, teachings that's been done. And so the company has done an amazing job that you don't have to put yourself in being in the position of an expert. They've got resources that you can share easily with them to help provide those answers that you need that will help them.
That's right. I was amazed how much resources they had for such a young company, and they're all top quality. You know, the videos are well done. The back office stuff is easy to navigate. And I love the back office because you can go back and see at any time how you're doing, who's come into through the website and the emails of the people there. So it's they've done a good job here.
Right. Like the email that Oz showed at the beginning, that's on your phone and you can send that to anybody, you know. So I agree with Brian is I've been in other companies where I had to quote create marketing materials, and in Alovea, you don't have to create anything. It's all in the phone. You just click on what you want to do, and you can even personalize it. It'll go into text, but then you can kind of click on the top of it and then write anything before that, before they actually get the information that you're sending them. So it's all about relationships and making it personal.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, if there's no other questions, we're going to call it a night. Doesn't look like there's any more. All right. We're going to, this will be uploaded to a website tonight for replay if you didn't get all of it. And you can go to myimmunecare.com and get the replay if you didn't get on in the beginning, or you want someone else to know about this. It'll be a great resource. Both the webinar from Sam Castor and this one will be on that webpage. And I'll put that in the chat box again, myimmunecare.com, and that'll take you to this webinar that'll be on tonight and the one we did last week. So, all right, I guess that's it, Ron. And
Right.
Steve, I don't know if you're still on, but thank you for a great presentation for us. It was, I learned a great deal tonight from that. So God
Thank you.
bless. May you all
Thank you very much.
get healthy. Okay.
All right, Kathy, thank you.
All right, we'll sign off. Take
Lisa.